All right, fantastic. Welcome back to the Zero Camber podcast. I'm your host, Whoop, and that is Michael.
Nobody calls me Michael, you asshole.
Nobody calls him Michael. I just wanted to mess with him before I end up getting murdered if you guys do not subscribe to the Zero Camber channel, because we have established that a Whooper may get beaten in the backyard of a random Michigan town if we don't hit 125 subscribers soon. So, if you guys don't want to see a Whooper beat, I mean, maybe some of you guys do want to see a Whooper get beat. Some of you are probably into that. But what we are into for this episode is talking about some builds that we have ideas for, like just things that we would like probably throw together. And before we give you ours, you should go down to the comment section and tell us what you would want to build. And here's the rules.
Car purchase price. Why am I holding a knife?
He's gonna beat me.
Car purchase price under 10K.
Yep.
And then we want to know what you'd want to do with it.
Yeah, like what's your top 3 specific mods you would make? $10,000 budget to buy the car. The 3 mods you can do, you can spend whatever money on.
Yep.
But you can only get 3. So let us know what you would do down below, because kind of interested to hear what some of you guys might have to say.
Yep.
But I will let you get us started,
Okay.
Mr. Tire Professor, on your first one.
So I've been thinking about this, right?
That's
because
scary,
I'm selling. Well, I'm selling my my LS400, right? And I kind of want to get into a Mark II, but I keep running across Mark IIIs, and so I've been like, they've been growing on me a little bit, the same way that like E36s grew on me after a while of owning an E30. I was kind of like, okay, kind of cool. So for under 10 grand, you can get a pretty good example of a Mark III GTI.
Yep. Okay.
Right. So that's going to be a VR6.
I mean, that's kind of a nice head start from where a Mark II is going to just start you at. So
yeah, I can like see it's a lot heavier and it's not as stylish.
For sure.
But, like the VR6 is a good motor.
Yeah. Well, and I will say, like, the fact that it's already kind of assembled for you to some degree, like it's kind of a nice nice platform.
Like a clean Mark II GTI, like proper GTI with the 16 valve is going to be, probably over 10 grand. I've found a couple Mark III GTIs with VR6s that don't seem like bad, that are under, like, I'd say like 6 to 8. So yeah, I'm definitely like, I think that's a good start.
Yeah.
Now the question here for me is like, what direction do you go with it? I know where I'd want to take it, right? If I had my dream on a Mark III GTI, I think the first thing you have to do is, if it's not, you have to Harlequin it.
Really?
Like, that is what Mark IIIs are known for, right?
That is kind of what Mark IIIs. That is like their thing. The only thing is, like, I feel like it's kind of, I don't know.
I think you can make a take on a Harlequin though, without having to rip a straight Harlequin.
That's probably fair. OCD in me though is like, I like seeing Harlequins, but the OCD in me is like,
that's fair.
I can't. I could never like own that, but I'm also like, I could have a garage where every vehicle is like just Honda Championship white, like.
Yeah, right, and that's not me.
Yeah, like they could all be on white Regas with championship white paint. I'd be like, this is perfect. Like,
right. But yeah, like that would be like a nice to have.
Mm-hmm.
I think the necessary things, like, because the Mark III GTI to me, what it needs help with is in the handling department.
Yes.
So if I'm gonna pick 3 things that I gotta do to it, it's gonna be, I believe they're available. I want Fortune Auto coils.
If they're not available, they will make them for you.
Right. Or I can find probably like KW or some other brand that's like pretty good.
Yep.
Just not like back speeding rods, please, people. A lot of those in the VW community, because you guys think low is all that matters. But right, I'd like some good Fortune Auto coils. I think the LSD is...
I'm surprised you wouldn't go straight to like the Volkswagen Classic and just go straight to bags.
Not for... So here's the thing. I don't like bags usually on hatches. I like bags on wagons.
Really?
Yeah. I don't like bags on hatches because for me, bagging a car takes a significant amount of the usability out because of the amount of space that the tank takes up.
Yep. I do forget you're like still looking at this as like I want this car to be like practical. Like every car is a daily driver for you.
If I'm buying a front wheel drive hot hatch, it's something I'd want to be able to use in my life. Not just something I drive on a semi, like, whatever basis, you know?
That's fair.
That's kind of how I view it.
I feel like maybe I've just spoiled off of, like, I will just buy a car for a purpose. Like, yes, like, I will use this to do these events. Like, because that is, like, my brain is just like, yes, I need to, like, categorize this. Like, this has a function, and it does that.
Like, here's the thing. I'm the idiot that would be like, if I bought a drift car, I'd still want the interior to look nice. Like, that's how I am. Because I want to enjoy driving it when I'm driving it.
Well, and I can understand, like, still, like, wanting an interior and stuff like that. But, like, I'm just, like, to me, like, I will compromise the daily life aspects versus over, like, compromising performance.
The other point here, though, is coilovers, like, a good set of coilovers is going to handle better.
Yeah.
Than bags.
With a lot less effort, for sure.
Yeah, like, so for me, like, a Mark III GTI, I feel like I'd want to set it up more as an autocross build.
That's fair.
So, like, I think you've got a pretty solid start on a motor. I think you've got like, Fortune Auto coils would give you a pretty solid start on the suspension. I think you might want the LSD, an LSD for this.
If you were going to do, like, any kind of autocrossing, I would definitely go that route.
They're not that expensive. It would really help out.
It is very much going to change the way the car drives.
Yeah. And then, see, if I'm only picking 3, I don't want to run wider tires without running different wheels, which would put me up on 4 in my mind, because tires are part of it. Plus, I think I'd want adjustable links. Right, really to like dial in my camber caster and toe. So basically, I'm taking like what is good about the Mark III GTI, and then I'm just fixing the stuff that's not. That's kind of the way I see it. Mm-hmm. Is what I would do if I had one of these.
Well, I'll say
that's where I'd go.
I do believe that like wheels and tires are kind of like just
a package deal.
Like, well, I think they're kind of a package deal, but also I feel like that's like a basis. Like, I'm not gonna run anything that's not like a proper tire, because like that is literally the.
Well, I would run a proper tire.
Well, I meant more like
I wouldn't change my tire size.
Yeah, but I don't feel like if you replaced 215s with 225s or 205s, like that's not like. I don't view that as like a mod. Like that's like a necessity.
Yeah, but then I'd want extra width right on the wheel. If I want extra width on the wheel, now I'm pushing. So, like, if I can have wheels,
I think we could say for the purpose of the challenge here that like wheels are like a given.
Okay.
Because like that's a pretty standard change for like 99.
I'd have to think about exactly what wheels I'd want on this car. I like the way that the OEM GTI wheels look on the Mark IIIs.
I mean, I will say Volkswagen stocks are like
they're pretty good.
You guys definitely do have the. You guys have the trophies for like how many vehicles you can just swap stocks between. So there's probably a billion actually 5 options.
I bet you there's a really good A4 wheel in this size, because they probably use the same bolt pattern. I don't know, but I bet you
would be
an old like B4.
Yeah, like
probably would.
90s A4.
Yeah, which is something. So. Before we move to yours, because that's kind of like, I think that's what I do. Like, if I had to go buy something right now that was like, go build a little autocross car, I'd go get a Mark III GTI. I do suspension, I do links, I do wheels, and I do an LSD. Mm-hmm. I'd probably be all in, for like a little, like it'd probably be all in for like 15. Let's be honest.
Okay.
Like on the high end, I think you could probably do it at around 10 if you tried. But you could also just take that Mark III. You could take that Mark III GTI base and go take it in autocross and have a blast, right? So like, And you still have something you can drive to work and back that's fun.
Yep.
But yeah, so I was on Facebook Marketplace earlier because I'm selling the LS400, right? So I'm also looking like I'm like scouring cars that I might want. Like, will they take a trade?
Yep.
And I saw someone on there that is selling a C5, so that's like a 2000 A6 Avant with the 2.8 V6, 190,000 miles, and they're willing to trade for an LS400. And it's not what I want, but like A6 Avants are kind of cool. And that 2.8 V6 is kind of like, it's slow, but I think it's got potential.
That could be pretty sick. The Avant's the wagon too, right?
Uh-huh. The only downside is it's got the auto, and I don't know what the manual transmission options are for those. So I'd have to look into that.
Yeah.
I also found somebody with a Mark III that wants to trade, that would like want to trade for an LS400, but he's got freaking underglow on it, and it's a 2-point slow, and it's like way overpriced.
Yeah.
And so I'm kind of like, if I could talk you into like a cash plus trade, and just maybe I'd have to go. I'm building
that's
an
not
R3
a cash
now.
plus trade. Like that guy is not a cash plus trade.
Well, the Mark III, the shell is super clean.
Is it? Like,
so if I wanted to build a Mark III, like it would be a great body to start with. Like the interior is in good shape, the exterior is in good shape. It would need an engine swap.
I guess
I would have to take out all the bullshit he did,
and like all that.
I would do a different motor.
Just go to like 180.
Maybe actually probably an EA222. That's the Mark V Rabbit i5, the non-turbo. 180 horsepower stock, and then they turbo up nicely. So I could have a Turbo 5 Mark III.
It'd be kind of interesting.
I think those, I mean, we talked about this with the Cabrio conversation. Like, Mark IIIs can look slick dumped.
Yeah. No, they definitely can.
And I've already decided, this is something I decided, I'm announcing it here. My Mark II or Mark III build or whatever it is going to be bagged. I'm doing it. I've been thinking about doing bags ever since, you know, I was going to say something I probably shouldn't. I've been thinking about doing bags ever since that thing happened, and now I'm like kind of stuck on wanting to bag a car.
I have yet to have something on bags, so maybe when I come to the conclusion of what my endless stream of thoughts provide me on what I would like to match your build with, maybe I will probably do the same and go for bags just as like.
Let's see who can do bags better.
Yeah, just so like they're kind of comparable, like, you know, because like that was the whole point of like us doing, you know, kind of like this little build challenge that we're talking about. Yeah,
so that's the thing we haven't talked about publicly yet, is that we're discussing kind of
this is the soft launch of our little build challenge, a little zero camber build challenge to make some like fun-ish, show-ish cars.
Yeah. The plan is basically you're gonna go with Japanese, I'm gonna go with Euro.
Yeah. Yeah, like a little Euro versus JDM, a little Whoop V mic, zero camber, like build off for like, and because neither of us have had like a show car or like neither. Yeah, like we want something that like, I think the goal we should set parameters, right? So like,
yes,
maybe
would the A6 count?
Yeah,
would the A6 still be acceptable?
Yeah, because I think we'll just make it like Euro v JDM. Like,
okay, so if I find like a good BMW, that would still be in too.
Yeah, like that'd be cool.
Okay.
Yeah, if you somehow like crack off like the $4,000, $5,000 135i, go for it.
I saw a salvage title E82 for like $4,000 on Facebook Marketplace.
Dude, I'm not gonna lie, those are getting to a dangerously cheap point where I'm like, I might have to. Like, I see them and I'm like,
I've seen some clean ones for like 10.
I know. That's what I'm saying. Like, they're getting.
Yeah,
that's a lot of car for the money. I'm not gonna lie.
Maybe you should move on. Maybe you should pick one of your first two builds and say what you would do.
Which is, in fact, an E82 135i N54 car specifically, because it's has a little bit more range. I feel
like me an N54.
But if I was to get me a cheap 135i, I think what I would do is, I really want to take one of these and try and do like a drag and drive with it. I think that would be super fun, and like I haven't seen really anybody else try to do like at least like nobody that like, you know, advertise, you know, or like I guess makes content out of like doing
No.
such content. Like you see like Cletus doing like some crazy shit, or a bunch of other like randoms like hopping in like they're doing Mustangs and like pretty common
I
stuff.
knew a guy in Michigan, I think he built a 335 with an M54 drag and drive. I have to ask him if that's what he did with it, though. I can't remember if it was that or a different car.
Yeah, so like
but I think he did.
So I mean, if that's the case, then like yeah, like it's not like it hasn't been done, but like I think it'd be a good platform for it. Like you can kind of throw a lot of power at a 135, and like it's pretty small, pretty light. Like I think it'd do fairly well as long as you can get it to hook up. So granted, I don't know how hard that'll be. I have seen some pretty high horsepower ones that do seem to struggle with the hooking up part. But I would probably grab a 135i, and for my few mods, I would probably do an adding port injection. I'm gonna throw the fact that like tuning is like a
tuning's a freebie.
Tuning's a freebie, and wheels are a freebie.
Yeah, wheels and tires are a freebie for sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
So with that being said, add port injection so you can really get into the fueling of that, because that direct injection is not enough to support the second mod, which would be the nice big old precision 6262 or 6266 with like a precision or the dock race setup. I think that like ever since I've seen that, I was like, yeah, that's the one if I do this. So I would do that setup, and then honestly I'd just throw it on like some Welds or some Bell X, to ball out, with the radials, and dial in the suspension a little bit and get it to hook as best I can.
Just like start digging on what you got, and then further mods later down the line.
But I think like honestly, I mean like if you get the thing to make some power and like you can get the ass end to squat up a little bit, I mean that thing's gonna eat,
The geometry you can work with.
Yeah, 100%.
For sure.
Well, and I mean like on a radial, like it should hook up fairly well. A lot of the ones I see struggle seem to are always pretty much on a street tire. So, like if it's on a radial, I think it'd be probably fine. But like I think that'd be a super fun like drag and drive car. I'd love to go do like drive like Michigan all the way down to like Florida, hit some events, do the drag and drive, and then like drive it home. I think that'd be a car that like you could probably do that in, and like
I think so.
I think it'd make good power. It'd play semi well. It'd be relatively a decent experience, because like you're in a 135i. It's not like you're in a 70 Chevelle that's like you're driving on the freeway that makes 800 horsepower with a big block.
Realistically, something that needs to be on a trailer.
Yeah, exactly. So like I feel like it'd overall be like a pretty decent experience outside of like I'm sure
that kind of hits on something. Yeah, I can't imagine ever wanting to build a car that I don't want it to be on the street. Like that I don't want to drive on the street, right? Because I think some people go so far on their builds that they build something that really isn't streetable anymore.
Oh, for sure.
And by streetable, I don't mean like can't technically be driven on the street, because I know plenty of Volkswagen dudes who drive static low and on the street. It's not drivable to me, right? Like it's not.
Like your idea of like drivable is like if you wanted to, you could go stick the key in that ignition and go drive to the grocery store and grab your groceries.
Yes.
Or like
that for me is a drivable, like a streetable car
to pick up
or like
the
if
kids.
I want to take the kids to go pick up ice cream, right? Like that's a streetable car.
Yep.
It's like any like the thing, right? Anything can fly if you throw it hard enough.
Yeah. Well, and that's why like I've like
doesn't make it a fucking plane.
Yeah, and I mean like that's where I'm like, well, like I kind of don't care. Like I will daily like. You could drive anything to work. If it drives, you could drive it to work. And
I drove a Mark II without a windshield from Flint to Burton.
Yeah, so like with that kind of stuff, I'm like, it started, so I'm driving it to work. And whether or not it makes it is besides the point. So
yes, I had my Speedo zip tied to the metal bars where the dash mounts. I didn't have windows. I didn't have
what car was this in?
This was the Mark II.
Oh my god!
I had to get an exhaust put on, so it was also just with the downpipe. And then a cop pulled up next to us and didn't give me a ticket.
That is hilarious, because that feels like such a like out of left field story for you. Like that is some 100%. I would do that. I would get caught doing that 3 days a week. But like
the
coming from you, that is hilarious.
The reality is, I did a lot of shit when I was younger, and I stopped when I got a job that would fire me for doing something like that.
Yeah, clearly I have zero worries about a job firing me because we all have seen my Twitter. So
Yeah, I very much could get fired for that. Um, yeah, I just realized too, like the other day, the director of marketing added me on LinkedIn, and which of course can be found like linked to all my social medias. I'm like, I'm so glad I don't say anything like crazy, because
if anybody follows me, they know that Arby's tweet from this weekend.
I'm not on Twitter anymore, so I don't want to know. Don't talk about it.
If you guys have seen the Arby's tweet, let me know.
All right, so in keeping with I'm kind of deciding which way I would go for which of the two I want to talk about. You know, it's something I've wanted for a really long time.
Mm-hmm.
E39. I think you can get a 540i for under 10 grand. It's going to be tight. It's going to be really tight, but I think you can do it.
I was gonna say, I feel like E39 M5s have definitely like those are those are like 20.
Yeah, M5 right? Definitely not. Just a 540, right?
Okay.
Specifically, like trying to get an M62 B44, not a TU
That's
B44.
the V8, right?
Yeah. So the M62, you have the M62 B44 and the M62 TU B44, which is the technical update B44. And basically the difference is Vanos and non. Right, like there's other differences, but like it's new versus old style.
So you want a non-TU, is what you said, right?
Yeah, non-TU. So pre-facelift, basically, which I like the pre-facelift. E39's better.
Okay.
I want to keep all the bodywork the same, right? No change. The M540, like the 540, is like a great engine or great start off the bat. Instead of trying to find an M Sport package car, because that's going to push the price up, go source the M Sport suspension.
Okay.
So go get the parts, because so what it was is you had in that era, you had the E39, like the 525s, right, which came with the same motor as like the E36, and then you had the M5, which came with the S52, I think it is.
Yeah, it sounds.
And then you had the M62 B44, which was the V8. It's a lower horsepower version. It's like a baby M5 basically, and then you could get those with the M Sport package, which had basically all of the M Sport or all of the M suspension bits. Like there was an M package in like a Sport package and an M Sport package, if I remember correctly. Like, and I think it's the M Sport one specifically is basically M car bits.
Okay.
It's sort of like buying a Charger Scat Pack. You know, where the Scat Pack has all the old SRT bits.
Yep.
But it doesn't have the new SRT bits. So it's like you're kind of getting the parts bin stuff, but it's still better.
Yep. Yeah, you're not getting like the base model, but you're
so it's a good step between.
Yep.
And the M62 B44 is way more reliable than the M5 engine.
That checks out.
So, like, basically take a semi-affordable 540. Put the sport suspension stuff that should be on it. And that's gonna cost you time more than money, because you're just gonna have to find the parts that people are parting out and selling, and you're just gonna have to.
Honestly, even if you don't care about the price, you could probably just go order all the shit with just from M Sport package, like
right. But I'm thinking
how to use replacement springs, or I need all
And then for me, the two big things is one, it has to have the Style 42 wheels.
Okay.
And I think this would be the perfect thing to turn into an art car. So, like for me, that's how do you take an E39, which is a really, really boring looking car, and make it something more interesting? Because you could take an E39, you could do a whole bunch of suspension bits, you could do like a whole bunch of race prep stuff, but this would take this and turn it into like a powerful rear-wheel drive V8 sedan that's got all this great usability, and then make it more unique by turning it into an art car and like actually getting artists involved, taking it down to like the different districts, maybe if you have those in your area, and getting people to actually paint and decorate
E39
on the car
Natasha?
and do things. Sure. But yeah, I think like that's something that I think would be a fun build to do, because one, the beauty in it is picking the right car off the first place.
Yeah.
Which I think a 540 is a great choice.
Yeah, I think the E39 is a good looking car.
And then two, for me, it would be a great exercise in sourcing components that came on cars, but you actually need to know the history of what is what, and like looking through the part numbers. So it's a great way to learn this car.
Yeah.
And then you're going through and you're like, basically it forces you to refresh everything in the suspension, right? Because if you're getting all these bits, then you're going to need to get bushings and all this like stuff through here. So basically, it's the perfect kind of little project build, because what it is you're taking a car that had great handling chops in its heyday, but was incredibly comfortable with a big V8 engine, and you're forcibly, like, you're making it better in the process, but you're not just throwing a set of coilovers on, right? You're like,
you're just a little more involved. Like,
yeah, it's more involved. It's more of a refresh. It's more of like a labor of love kind of thing. And then I think the best way to finish that off is to then take it and make the exterior unique. That would be neat, especially as like
for the like suspension and engine, like everything besides the aesthetics being like very OEM plus. It'd be a nice like contrast.
And then going the art car direction still sticks with BMW heritage.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, like that could come off really cool.
Yeah, I know it's maybe a less exciting build. It's not like you throw this big ass turbo in it and like, yeah, sure, whatever. But like, I think it's a cool idea for something that hasn't really been done on an
E39. Yeah, no.
And even Whoop's tired.
I know, dude. I'm beat today. Dude, it's just been a long day. But
yeah, it has.
No, I do like the E39, and I do think I'm definitely not as privy on like a lot of the like submodels.
Yeah. I haven't done digging on this in a
BMWs.
while. It was something I looked at doing like 10 years ago. So if I'm misremembering and I've pissed off the BMW fanboys,
yeah, I'm sure.
I don't care. You can correct me and I'll probably make fun of you.
After I get beaten in the backyard by you for not hitting the subscriber count, then the E39 Mafia is probably gonna pull up and take you out back and take care of you.
You know, it'd be a really good way to piss off the Porsche community. I think it would be a really, really fun idea to take like an old 911 and swap in a WRX motor.
Oh yeah, you can easily get away with that. Actually, what I think really would piss off what I think really pisses off the Porsche community, and this will be separate, or this won't be included here because obviously it doesn't meet the thing, but I believe the company is called Chavis Performance, something along those lines. But I did find that the 996 or 997 cars, if you get the Carrera 4S, the all-wheel drive one, has the wide body from the turbo models, you can actually, with the kit...
Can you do a body swap with the WRX?
No. You can get the kit from Chavis that you take out the motor. And this is the one that has like the IMS bearing failure, so I don't feel bad about throwing that thing in the trash. But, and this is kind of actually opposite of how I normally would think or do things, but you could take an LS3, drop it in, maintain all-wheel drive, and the LS3 actually sits in the bay lower and deeper, so it's a little bit, nicer handling-wise, weighs 200 pounds less than the Porsche engine, and there's enough space, from what I've seen in pictures, looks like, that you could probably fit a blower in there. And I think that would go so incredibly hard to have an all-wheel drive blown LS3 in a 911.
That would be awesome. The real question here at the end of the day is it a junkyard LS3, and did you open it up and refresh it? Matt Sixberry must know.
Mr. Matthew, I would probably order I would probably order a crate motor, and the blower would probably come from Magnuson, and I would pay all of the money for the ICT billet drivetrain or pulley, setup, because that is Whoop spec to go above and beyond and be abnormal. I'm definitely a check the catalog enjoyer.
So I saw a short the other day that said that overlanding is the pickleball of off-roading. And so I thought it'd be a great time for you to tell us about your FJ Cruiser build.
So, yeah, I think, dude, well, first off, those early FJ Cruisers, like 07s, not exactly the best examples of FJ Cruisers, but they are FJ Cruisers at the end of the day still. And FJ Cruisers are super sick, and you can get them sub 10 grand, which is why it's on the list.
Can you really?
Yes. You will search. Wow. They're not all under it. But there are some. They exist. They might be a little rusty. They might be a little crusty, but it's an FJ, so it's definitely a little trusty. That was so bad. That was so corny.
That was actually pretty good.
But so I love the FJ. Honestly, I wanted an FJ really bad before I wanted a Ranger Raptor and a Taco and all the other things I want. But I really like FJs. I think FJs are so cool. My only problem with an FJ is if you're not like a single dude who like does overlanding and that's like all you want to do, it's kind of not a good choice for a vehicle. Like it's kind of not it's not good enough to have like great.
It's not really good at anything else. Like
no, it's fine. Like if you're just a single dude and like you just want to drive it and like have like you just have your one car that's kind of utilitarian. Like, it's perfect at that. But, like, the moment you're like, yeah, I want to, like, maybe stuff kids in the backseat, starts falling behind. If you need to tow something, falling behind. Like, it's not.
Yeah,
it just
fuel economy, meh.
Yeah, like, it's, but.
Rollover, 3 out of 5.
It's an FJ.
Based on 2008 standards, which isn't good either.
But it is an FJ Cruiser. And FJs are cool because they have 3 wipers.
I have a story. So I was at Michelin, right? And we were on the track with one of the test drivers. I can't remember what his name was. I'm not going to call him out anyway, just because. And we were talking about FJ Cruisers and why he would never want an FJ Cruiser. And we asked, why don't you like FJ Cruisers? And his answer was, because I don't like the number 3. And we go, what do you mean? He says, it's got 3 freaking wipers. And the other guy and the other driver in the passenger seat was like, no, he's not talking shit. Like, he hates the fact that it has 3 wipers, and that's the reason why he won't get an FJ Cruiser.
I'm that dude's antichrist because I love that it has 3 wipers. I think it's the silliest shit, and it's cool.
He was the only FRS owner I knew back in the mid-2010s.
Well,
he bought one on release day, so maybe you should rethink that.
How many FRS owners do you know now?
I had 2.
Oh, damn it. I thought I was the only one now. So, but I would love to take an FJ Cruiser and just throw like some OME suspension, Old Man Emu, King, Icon, like nothing. I wouldn't go crazy. I'm not trying to do like, it'd probably be like a 3-inch lift, something like that.
I think that would be good.
Throw honestly on some like 35-inch tires. I'm talking like real basic setup, a real basic, simple overland setup.
I'm a big fan of what you put in your notes specifically. You say 35-inch tires, but you put 35-inch Wild Peaks, and I am a fan of that.
35-inch Wild Peaks. And then just like a rooftop tent with like on a front runner rack system, and like just like keep it simple, keep it stupid. But like
AT3Ws are like legitimately Wild Peak AT3Ws are legitimately like a great option.
Oh, 100%.
I've not driven on them. I don't quite understand. I've seen a lot of love for Toyo all-terrains. I have not driven on them. I've not been a huge fan. I just don't like how they look, personally. Like, I think that's about all it is. I don't love how they look.
That's fair. My biggest problem is I think, because you're talking about the open country, right?
Yeah.
I feel like they're so loud.
The Toyo MTs are pretty, like, aggressive looking, too. I think my coworker put a pair of those on one of his cars. I don't, like, have a problem with them in a way that I'm like, but, like, they don't really appeal to me as much. But Toyo's done a really good job in that market. You know who I don't like the appearance of?
Who?
I really not that I don't like his tires. Like I just don't like the appearance of. I really don't like the way Nittos look.
Nittos are
like Nitto all terrains. They're just too much for me. Like they.
I don't know if I even. Is that the
Ridge Grappler?
Ridge Grapplers. Okay.
Like I feel like
that's
that
the one
is
with,
a
like,
tire
the real, like,
that
blocky like tread pattern, right? Yeah, I don't,
it's the off shoulder for me. Like the off shoulder design is getting a little too aggressive. Like I feel like we're stepping into a point where this only looks good on those like tire rack black wheels with the machined edges.
Yep, like
when like XD series, like XD Steel or whatever those are.
Yeah, like your average truck bro, like did your average truck bro who like bought wheels, but like you clearly have like you've never purchased wheels before in your life.
And you know their truck squats more than they do?
Yes, for sure. 100%.
No. I'm talking shit, but like no, this is for me it's aesthetics because I don't do off-road.
Yeah.
Right? Like if I was gonna buy an off-road tire, I'd probably get an AT3W because I like the Wild Peaks.
Yeah. No. And like
I've heard good things.
Yeah, I haven't heard anything bad. I've had great experience on Falcons so far. I really
the Lexus is on Sumitomo's, so yeah.
Like I really haven't had any issues running Falcons in the last while. I used to be like a Yokohama only, like I would only buy Yokohama tires for like the longest. Like if it wasn't Yokohama or Advan, I wasn't touching it. But I did start.
I know some people like that would be happy to hear that.
You can let them know
I interviewed at Yokohama.
Did you?
I didn't. Yeah, no, I didn't get the job. I think it was mostly. I don't know the reason. I think it was mostly over like me being on the high end of the salary range. But yeah, I interviewed at Yokohama.
That's cool.
That would have been a fun job.
Yeah.
Would have been in South Carolina.
That would be.
I like it here in Ohio. I love my job. I love the company I work for. So
yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, according to Facebook, a set of 35 by 12.5 R20 AT3Ws is like $466 a tire. That's not that expensive for 35s.
No. And I mean, I'm sure if you drop that down to like an actual like 17 or like a wheel size you'd like actually want to run, like that's probably like $390 to $430 a tire.
Let's see. LT285. I don't know what, because once we go to LTs, here we go. Wild Peak MT LT35 12R18 is $472, and that's the MT. So like, I think you're probably in a good.
Yeah. But yeah, like I just think like an FJ Cruiser, like pretty basically set up, would be like just awesome to like do like light wheeling, you know, like it'd be perfect to like start off getting into if you're like trying to get into like overlanding or doing something off-roading. I think that's like a great place to start. I mean, the 4.0's dead nuts reliable. You can get a manual in the FJ, so if like you're into that, you still have a manual transfer case.
I think that would make it more fun for a car that's just kind of boring to drive on a daily.
Yeah, no, for sure. And like, I mean, like it's like I don't think the manuals are necessarily great. Because like, it's similar to like what's in the Taco. But like if you're off roading it and like you are doing it and you're like, oh, like I kind of want to do this. Like I think it's like, but it's also a perfect car that like you could have like the FJ be your daily and be like kind of like that off roader, you know, overlandy look. And like you're not like the dude in a Wrangler, I guess.
No.
So like I think that's kind of cool. I think FJs look pretty neat. You know, they stand out. Like every time I see one, I'm like, oh look, an FJ. Like they kind of make me a little giddy when I see them.
They make you happy. They make you happy.
So like they're super cool. And the fact that like they've gotten pretty cheap when like a few years ago they were still like insanely priced. I think that's pretty cool. So, you know. That price point, I think it's just kind of like a fun like thing, and I know we don't really talk about like the overlanding stuff, you know, a lot, but you know,
but we both like it.
But yeah, no, I think we like it's both something we like agree that we would do, you know, if we had the time available to us.
Yeah, I mean that was what I was considering doing before, like going like, yeah, I'm just gonna get an old Euro.
Yeah. I remember you even mentioning that you were like, I don't know, like maybe I should like, you know, jump into like an old Land Cruiser or something like that, like
or like an old LX400 or. Yeah, like LX460 or something.
Yeah. Well, I actually looked when I was actually deciding, like when I was like FJs are cool, but I was like, can I get an LX470 for that price? But they're more often than FJs
not
trending
in
out
your
of
area.
Yeah, not here.
It's really weird. I noticed like because I was looking at LX470s, LX460s, like both, right? Like the older and the newer ones.
Yep.
down here, and like the prices are way lower than they were in Michigan. Because I remember looking at LX 470s up in Michigan, and they were like 20 grand.
Oh, like
15 grand for like a 200,000 mile example. I was finding them down here for like 10.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, I literally was just looking at like LX 470s with like 250,000 miles. Like, people are asking 11 grand for them. I'm just
no, they're a little cheaper down here.
So yeah, I was like, okay, well, but
it's the same thing as like remember the Mustang conversation
a
long time
yeah.
ago. It was like Mustangs down here are going for like 5-6 grand more than they were in Michigan. Just for some reason, those are easier. Old Hondas, part of the reason why I'm finding so many Hondas down here is because Honda is down here.
Yeah, Honda is in Ohio, so yeah, that does make sense. I mean, it makes sense because if you got a lot of employees there, I'm sure that they're probably like, oh, well, I'm employed by Honda, so I'm going to buy a Honda. A lot of people think that way. That is like the driving force behind the big three in Detroit.
Yeah.
So,
yep,
100%. So, yeah, that checks out. That makes a lot of sense. So, well, I think
we're kind of
your second choice.
Well, we're kind of at we're close enough on time that I don't want to try to push anymore. I think.
Okay.
I think, how would I do this? What we should do, we're talking this out on air. What we should do is I think we should each take our last builds and make some shorts out of them and ask people what they want, what they would do. Okay. I think we can do something like that.
Probably do something like that.
So, those will come. I don't know. It's kind of fun talking about what we'd like to buy and do with it.
Yeah.
So we should do more of this.
It's kind of fun. I'm sure we're probably going to get, people are like, no, that is the worst choice I've ever heard. I would buy this instead and do this to it.
And that's good. Do that. You drive our engagement up.
Yeah, exactly. So you guys can have a field day in the comments telling us about all the things that you guys know how to build better than us. Yeah. And
which you probably do know how to build better than us.
Yeah, probably.
In some ways. Yeah.
This is very true.
Because I'm not.
I am the person who just left paper towels inside of my hat airport. So it's whoops washed. There's no comeback.
And I was defeated by an AC box. You know what ultimately killed me on that one? It was I spent $300 to get like an AC box, not realizing that all the interior bits I had for my car being non-AC, right? I was going from non-AC to AC.
Yep.
That Volkswagen used a pneumatic system on the AC boxes, but they used a standard cable system for the non-AC boxes, so none of the flapper doors could be opened or closed because I didn't have the pneumatic setup.
And all the...
And so, I had, exactly. And that was my point where I was just like, I'm done. That was the point where I decided to sell it because I was just like, I can't keep dealing with because I had the GL 4-door.
Mm-hmm.
So my back windows too, I had half windows on front and back.
Yeah.
Those glasses are impossible to find, or at least they were. And I stepped on one. But when I was taking stuff out, I stepped on it. They were $185 for a little piece of quarter glass. Mm-hmm. And that didn't include finding the rubber pieces, the rubber seals
and trim, and
because nobody makes them.
Yeah.
And you can't get them, right? So I was I couldn't find the crap to get my windows in. I couldn't find the crap to put my freaking sunroof on. I couldn't get the damn airbox in. Everything was fighting me. And this was a car, by the way, I had already rewired to an OBD1 car with CE2. So I had already rewired the tail lights and the headlights and everything because because it was an engine swap.
Yep.
So I already rewired all the harnesses. So for that for me was my point where I was like, I'm done. I can't do this anymore. Screw this car.
Yeah, you're like, I'm not doing this again.
No.
I'm out.
Yep.
And so, you know what? And sometimes it is better to be able to I look at that and be like, I've hit the wall on this project. Sometimes it's better to just be like, you know what? I don't care anymore. I know I've sunk a bunch of money in it. I know I've sunk a bunch of time into it, but sometimes you just gotta move on.
Care. Yes.
Because if you don't, it'll break you for sure.
Yeah. And with that, it's time to just move on.
Yes.
And go do something else with your day.
So
this has been Zero Camber. Peace out.